So we have egg-laying birds, and I want to build them their own space. What we have decided is that we wanted to build what they call a chick shop, and we printed out some plans. It does work. So let's get going. Take a look at my cut list and grab my saw. We'll get started. As you can see, ripping a 2x4 with a battery powered circular saw is not the same as just cutting a 2x4 for length. So you're going to want to have some batteries on hand or a corded saw, but if you have a corded saw, make sure that your cord is not in the way of your saw blade while you're ripping these boards down. That is very dangerous. So just take your time and just go through the cuts as you need to, and as quickly or as slowly as you want / need to or have the capability of doing. Don't hurry or rush through any of this. Just take your time, be safe. That is it as far as cutting everything to length and ripping stuff, but there's still some miter cuts and some bevel cuts that need to be made, and we'll have to reference the plan for all of that. Now when I was cutting, I took my marker and I just went ahead and marked off every cut, and as you can see, there's some in here that is double stacked and some that is not, so you want to make sure that you're paying attention as you're cutting as to how many pieces you actually need, because you'll wind up with a lot more pieces cut, and if you went to the store to pick up all that lumber, you will have cut wrong and you will be out of wood, and that'll be a sad day for you because wood is expensive. So go ahead and pay attention while you're cutting these pieces. This is my 102-inch long 2x4s, and instead of doing an 1.5-inch hole on that side where the 5-inch mark was, I went ahead and did a 2-inch hole. I did not get the pipe that it called for. I went ahead, I have plenty of 1.5-inch PVC pipe. I'm going to see if that works. The ones with the holes in it will be the closest to the outside. The one with no holes will be in the center. So let's go ahead and get those attached. All right, we are finally to step 11, which is the point of the show where we start putting some of the hardware cloth on, and this is going to be the base where the chickens are running around, which means that they are pooping and making messes. So that's why they call for a 1-inch spacing on the poultry netting. I opted for the black vinyl coated. For this, it's going to go ahead and run along the back side here, and it wants you to have just a little gap, and you can staple it on first. The plans call for a 3/4 inch poultry net staple. So it's like this really long, very thick staple that you have to hammer on. So I'm not going to be using that. I have the narrow crown stapler, and I bought some 1-inch quarter crown galvanized staples, so they will be okay outside. And so I'll be able to just go ahead and shoot my poultry netting on rather than having to hammer. If you have that capability, that is definitely going to be a faster way to go.
AV club in the cold is not fun.
Do I not have to finish it out here yet?
Not yet.
Look at her go, folks. If you don't watch out, those are 3-inch screws. That's gonna go right through.
I didn't do it. Okay, you do the rest. That was my 1 screw.
That's your 1 screw?
Yep. Scrub nurse.
Am I doing 3-inchers?
Practicing. Yeah. I got you 2 more right there.
Scrub nurse.
This is the equivalent of surgery.
How many am I doing?
3. 1 here and 1 here. You are the surgeon.
I am a surgeon. I am a carpenter.
Or the sous chef. I'm either one of those things.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Okay, do I put any more in?
Yes, 5 total. What I do with them there right here. Middle.
That's a lot. You only need 5 of them in there?
It's probably so that the brackets and the closures have, well, I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so I'm just doing one in the middle here. Correct?
It's that one in the middle and then another one here and another one there. Oh, because it's traction too. This is how they get in and out.
5. 1 in each.
Good enough.
I love it. What do you think?
Okay, would you build it again?
Yes, I would. I don't know if I was new to chickens, I would be afraid of spending the amount of money it would take to actually build that from the plans because it's quite expensive. If you were going to get chickens and you never had chickens before, you didn't have material lying around, I mean, you're probably looking at about $1,000, maybe even a little bit more, because you'd still have to buy chickens on top of that. So modifying the plans to meet the needs that we had, the materials that we had, this coop for us, I would do again, for sure. Yeah. So let's see if this works, because we put these little carabiners on, which we just had these carabiners lying around, so it's crazy how much some of this hardware is when you buy it at the store. I mean, just the sizes that it called for in the plans, I think they were like $4 a piece or something. The only other modification I would probably make over time is adding some kind of a leg either here inside the coop or on the lid itself to help prop it open. If you needed to get in here for whatever reason, you got a dead or chicken or a sick chicken, or putting your chickens in there for the first time, having to hold this up is probably not going to be fun. And so I would probably go ahead and add some kind of a prop for this lid. Now, of course, this is much heavier lid than it would be if you built the one from the plan, because I did metal as opposed to the PVC corrugated roofing. So this whole thing is a little heavier for us, but overall, walking around with it with the wheels on is still no problem at all. We opted for a little bit smaller wheels. He talks about that in his video, that he would spend the extra money, get the bigger wheels, it's better. However, never have built this. I was afraid to spend the extra money because what if I didn't like it? So we opted for a little bit smaller wheels. I think it's still going to function just fine. The front handle, instead of using the fence pole like it calls for, I just had a 1.5 inch PVC. As you can see, it does flex a little bit when you pick it up, but not much.
It was free.
It was free. Free is good. These with the rubber gasket nuts, it just spins in this wood. It kind of just tears it apart. So I don't know if I would recommend getting the rubber inserted nut. I would just get a standard nut, put a little Loctite on there, and screw it in. We also already had these milk crates. They're not exactly the ones that it calls for, because see, one of these has that arch that is in the plan. So the last thing we need to do is go ahead and cut that arch out. I'm gonna have to make my own design on these outer boxes because I don't have an arch.
I think we'll probably just cut this whole thing out and just leave the bottom and the two little sides.
I may go ahead and leave one top edge to help keep this thing structurally sound. So if you cut that whole edge, this might collapse in on itself over time. And I need it to stay sturdy so the animals can't get in and out of here.
Cool.
I'm ready. I'm excited. I want to get these chickens in here. Maybe we'll get them in there today. I don't know. It's kind of drizzly.
That's okay.
So if you're up for it, it can get a little muddy. I may need to change my hoodie, put a
work hoodie,
more of a work jacket on.
Cool.
But I'm pretty thrilled with it. I think if anybody else wanted to build one, they would be thrilled with it as well. Especially the fact that it holds 40 chickens.
I know.
That's huge.
It is.
And it's movable, so nothing's permanent. If you ever, down the road, move from your current house and you don't want to get rid of chickens, load this thing up on a trailer and take your chickens with you. Pretty simple. So, let's get these chickens in here.
You guys ready to get out? They're like, well, we're kind of settled now. Time to fertilize the greenhouse. Come on, girls. They're like, yeah, we're not doing that.